Hello and welcome to Ms. Patricia Smith, who is running for Alderman of the 7th Ward in the April 6, 2021 consolidated election. Thank you for participating in this candidate interview. I will be asking a variety of questions which were developed in collaboration between the Maine West Westerner student newspaper and Pi Sigma Pi Social Science Honor Society. You will have 2 minutes to share your answer to each one. When the 2 minutes have passed, I ask that you only take a few seconds to finish your thought so we can move on to the next question. Let's start with question 1. We would like to know, if you had 2 minutes to address the people of Des Plaines, what would you say?
Well, hello everyone. My name is Patsy Smith, a candidate for 7th Ward Alderperson in Des Plaines. I would first like to start off by thanking the Westerner and Maine West High School and all the people that made this possible. I'm vested in the 7th Ward both by residents and by prior business owner. I grew up here and my primary home has been in the 7th Ward. In September 2019, I retired after 35 years of owning and operating a business that dealt in heavy construction equipment and refuge equipment. We were a certified WBE company, and our customers mainly were the City of Chicago, IDOT, State of Illinois, municipalities, and of course Des Plaines was one, and plus private sectors. So we mainly dealt with, it was a bid type of a process dealing with being a WBE with these entities. And so I'm very familiar with dealing with bids as they do as aldermen, garbage and different road work and things like that. Some years ago, I was appointed by Mayor Meridia, and I served on the EDC board. I have always, in some capacity, done volunteer work, first being the Salvation Army, where I was the recording secretary, and we did fundraisers. It was for a facility in Chicago. Then I did volunteer work at a local women's shelter, mainly on maintenance, like getting a new driveway, getting their grass cut, having an office built, and currently I do volunteer work at a church that we feed the less fortunate. Right now, because of COVID, we can only we make the meals, a hot lunch out the door, and we do give out some clothes and canned goods, toiletries. Hopefully, soon this COVID will be able to have them inside because they do enjoy the companionship and it's nice. Anyway, with all that, I bring an excessive amount of experience to the aldermanic position. My first response is to the residents and local businesses in our ward. I will be accessible to your concerns and will respond in a timely manner. I know you've heard that before, like I have, and I know how important it is to get a response, at least that you're working on it, or you'll get back to them, but I promise you that we'll have an open dialogue with the city department heads, mayor, and aldermen. Des Plaines is a very diversified city with great potential, and I believe with teamwork that I hope will create many positive changes that could materialize. Regarding our business, many have been neglected. Businesses that are in displays.
I'm sorry, can I?
And a fair number have either found another city to move to or unfortunately closed. We need to enhance departments within City Hall to prevent work with business so they do not move out of displays rather than waiting till the last minute and it's too late. And just being a business owner, I know that we were never visited or anything like that. How are you doing? And I believe that it's very, very important to at least, I mean, we're losing enough businesses, but to retain the business that we do have.
All right. Thank you. And then to the next question, how do you plan on managing the spread of COVID-19 in our community? What are your priorities?
I wish I had a magic wand on that. We're facing unprecedented times which have changed our lives. No one knows what to expect out of this pandemic. There are the times that now that the government must step up. The City of Des Plaines will have to work with residents and businesses to ensure their needs are addressed. I want to make sure that people first retain their homes, have food on the table, and I recognize that there are many in our community that are just barely making it. Ensure that they have services they need while balancing the needs of the business community also. Recently, one of our key legislators that work closely with Des Plaines secured an agreement with the Kmart that closed on Oakton and Lee, and there will be a COVID testing station there, and inside will be where they give vaccines, hopefully when they do get vaccines.
All right. All right. Thank you. And for our third question, we'd like you to tell voters how do you plan to improve infrastructure, keeping in mind issues such as flooding, rundown areas, sustainability, and climate change?
Well, we definitely have an aging community with many infrastructure needs. I believe we should continue to use gaming revenue to meet the infrastructure needs. There has been much progress in getting new roads, curbs, sewers, and others are slotted. Right now, obviously, they can't full to be doing the roads, but there has been a lot of progress as far as that goes, and there's a lot more that needs to be done, but I'm confident that it will. Flooding, when it happens, is probably the biggest disaster Des Plaines can face. And as far as talking about flooding, that is one thing that's on my list to find out, learn about what exactly has been done, the deep tunnel, and but we still flood. So what is above what I'm gonna even try to talk about, because I don't even know what still to come. We need to encourage development for aging rundown areas by providing incentives. Also making sure building and code enforcements are clear to the developer. There's issues that a piece of property that was bought, I mean, this is just a recent thing, and now he has to take tanks out. I don't know, I'm sure it was disclosed to him, but it's costly and he's very upset about it. And just as far as the communication goes, While Displays gets to be known as a business-friendly, Displays needs to be known as business-friendly. It has the exact opposite opinion of it, that it is not business-friendly. It's important we must encourage sustainability and environmentally friendly practices such as LEED certified structures.
All right, thank you. And then for our fourth question, what is something you want to see added or changed in the downtown area in order to provide recreational activities and promote local businesses?
There's one thing that, as far as I don't want to forget our seniors. Our senior housing definitely needs improvement, and that is something that definitely needs to be looked into. Our local business and city need to work together to make downtown area more aesthetically pleasing. So when you drive into the corridor displays, that is your first impression. To get business and restaurants into displays, there first needs to be a plan, not just to jump to put anything in a vacant storefront, which we do have. You have planning, and once that is accomplished, incentivize established businesses. Sounds terrible, but in nearby towns to come and open up in displays. They already have a customer base, and that would be, that would start the flow of traffic and having people in displays. What is very important that we recognize and keep communicating with our current businesses in order to retain them. Introduce more elements such as outdoor dining, pedestrian-only corridors in various locations, and I have thought of different locations where they would be really nice. These corridors could host venues such as a good farmers market, not like the one that they did try it one year. You have to do some research on that. Go to different farmers markets and see what the good farmers are, who they are, and try to. I know we wouldn't probably get a Saturday or Sunday, but farmers markets are a good thing. And art festivals, and there's endless other activities. The taste of displays. Introduce more elements such as outdoor dining. And I just said that too. Sorry.
All right. Thank you for your explanation.
Metropolitan Square is not owned by Displays. Even their Potbellies, or not Potbellies, Panera closed. I know there's Potbellies and Giordano's. There's nothing there. And for the longest time, I drove past there and never even knew it was in there. I'm not sure exactly where. I'm sure Displays has done something with the owners because there's been several owners.
I'm so sorry. We just ran out of time.
Need to get with the owner, and that would be a perfect place to have shops. And there's a restaurant there with a bar that just recently, not too long ago, left, and they had outdoor seating. I don't know what the problem is, so maybe I'm talking without knowing, but I believe it's something significant to explore.
All right, thank you for your explanation. For the
Did I actually do 2 minutes?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I was even done. I like that.
And then for the fifth question, what do you plan on doing with the city's budget within your term, and what areas of the budget would you prioritize?
Well, first of all, I would spend, if I was elected, I would spend a great deal of time in the finance department, learning as much as I could about the budget. Once I've been educated, I will know if tax dollars are being spent wisely, or if I am unsure on some areas, I have no problem asking questions regarding items that I'm not sure about. Displays is the benefit of the casino revenue, but due to the pandemic, the casino has been closed. I think it's reopened again, partially reopened. Now, this is the time to be aware and not spend more than we take in and use capital dollars wisely. I would prioritize the public safety needs are met and funded. Always make sure that the budget is transparent, which it is. On the city council, they talk about it, and I think that's definitely a good thing.
All right, thank you for your response. And now for our sixth question, please explain, how do you plan to expand and promote education in Des Plaines, particularly education about our city's history?
Schools are one of our gems of the community. We have great public and private schools. I would like us to work with the district and explore utilizing Ulster Community College. I would like to see us merge missions and work together. We'll reach out to mentor youth, to work with them, and I feel that's the school as far as the history in the city. I didn't even realize until maybe 10 years ago that how much history is in Des Plaines, and it's time to pass it on to the youth so they do know where they came from and what the city's about. The Historical Society is willing to participate. They could possibly host a festival or a workshop, and a great venue would be the newly renovated Des Plaines Theater.
All right, thank you for your response. For our seventh question, we'd like to know, how would you promote involvement in local politics, especially for young people?
Well, as we all aware, the youth are the future, and I am always open to their viewpoint. The best way to promote involvement in local politics is hands-on experience. And I thought of shadowing an alderman for one of their council meetings, and also there's different offices that are here, that the committee office and other elected officials' offices, and they always have young people in them. And possibly the school could offer credit for them to volunteer and work at these offices. And through that, they would learn how whatever the election it depends if there is. Right now, obviously, they're busy, but I'm sure they're always open, and I think that would be a good place for them to learn and plus be with their peers.
All right, thank you very much. Let's move to the next question. As always, you'll have 2 minutes to share your answer for our 8th question, which is, if elected, how do you plan to build an equitable relationship with the community and the schools in our city while making your presence known?
Well, this one will be a very sharp one. Having grown up in Des Plaines school system, I can honestly tell you that I take personal pride in the city's education and system, whether public or private. I plan on attending school functions and lending my personal support to individual schools wherever possible, or whenever possible, I should say.
All right, thank you for your explanation. We have our last 2 questions now. For our 9th, we'd like to know what specific means of communication will you use in order to regularly communicate with constituents? For example, will there be newsletters sent out, a dedicated Facebook page, regular ward meetings?
Well, being personally accessible is, to me, the utmost the importance of this job. On my literature, I have already an email account and a phone number, but I've only gotten one email and one phone call, which I answered. And so that shows right there that I know how important that is. I mean, that's your job as an alder person to take care of the residents. Definitely, I will have ward meetings, whether virtual or in person. And I will also set up an email blast communication system for anyone interested. As far as a website, Facebook, that would come down the line. If I am elected, right now I'm not going to put up a website or Facebook. They can get a hold of me on the phone or email me.
All right, thank you for sharing those thoughts. And now for our final question. Let's say you get elected. When your term is up, how do you envision you will have helped better Des Plaines?
Well, I'll work very hard to get the following things that I have vision in my mind, what I would like to see. Increased presence of restaurants, stores, and other developments. More environmentally friendly buildings that contribute to a green economy. Building and code departments have become more consumer friendly. Building and code departments have become, I'm repeating myself because I'm reading this. Zoning codes have become more unified. An example is manufacturing and residential do not mix. And why I personally know this is with our business, we experience eminent domain at O'Hare. And I found building that was actually closer into Des Plaines. The other one was in Des Plaines too, but it was way out by which O'Hare Field took it for a runway. And it was the Northwest Highway was industrial, but behind me it was residential. Well, I didn't even think about that. It wasn't so much the people behind us. In 3 years, a bunch of condos went up right next to us, and there was like a back acre and a half that we used to rent out for trucks. You know, people that had 1 truck, 2 trucks, and I got so many. Well, I had to actually. I've been in front of the city council. It'd be nice to be behind, looking out, but it's already.
Yeah, you can finish your thought.
Anyway, it's a definite residential and business do not mix.
Right. Thank you very much. And finally, is there anything else you would like voters to know?
Yes, please. If you have not registered to vote, please register to vote. On April 6th is the voting. It is so important that you make a difference. It is your right and privilege to vote. I know a lot of people don't vote in municipal elections, but it is important because it's your ward, and you could need to talk to your alderman, which you can anyway, but your voice is needed to make a decision on who you would like to represent your ward. So I am asking for your vote, and I thank you very much.
All right. And that concludes our interview questions. If voters would like more information about your platform or plans, what would be the best way to find out these details?
Well, they could email me at Patsy, Patsy, 4, and the number 7, Ward at gmail.com. And the phone number, 847-635-7147.
Great. Thank you again for your participation in this interview and your interest in serving our community.
Thank you.